What is up, YouTube, and welcome back. Today I got some very exciting new news on the Outer Rim DLC. And just in case you guys missed the 3 streams today that took place, basically showing off the new DLC. I'm just basically gonna go over and recap everything we learned from it, and yeah, this is all straight from the lead designer, developer, Dennis. So this is all fully confirmed info, and you can rewatch it. I'm just gonna give you the new stuff we've learned, and not really gonna give any opinions on it. So that'll be later for my live stream tonight. So let's go ahead and get right into it. We have confirmed that March 22nd is the date that it will be released for the season pass holders, and then if maybe you weren't interested in getting it right away, the soonest you'll be able to buy it if you don't have the season pass would be 2 weeks after the 22nd. So definitely get a hold of those season passes if you want the DLC on the 22nd. So next, I want to discuss the new heroes and their abilities, and what goes into that. Basically, 9 Noom, we'll start with him. His primary weapon is the DH-17, obviously a modified version. So that's very cool. I thought maybe he wasn't going to be able to be up close and personal type of hero, but obviously now he is with the DH-17. So his first ability that I saw is his proximity bomb, and he's allowed to place 4 of those down at one time, and the proximity bomb, I believe, actually changes to an orbital strike for the bigger maps, so the 20 on 20 game modes. So that's pretty awesome, but obviously an orbital strike isn't going to work in every game mode, so he has proximity bombs as well. And then he has a pulse cannon ability which allows him to snipe from a great range. So that's pretty cool. The pulse cannon he has loads up much quicker. Cooldown is shorter, so it's awesome. And his last ability is the turret. He can place down a turret wherever. As far as I know, there's no cap on him, on how many you can place down. And basically they upgrade over time, depending on how well they do. So that's basically 9 Noom's abilities. Next we'll move on to Greedo. Greedo has, so for his middle ability, he gets a scan around the map, which goes hand in hand with his headshot targeting ability. But basically when you pop that triangle ability, you scan the map like the droids, kind of, and you get to see all the enemies through the walls, and that allows him to sprint almost as fast as Luke. So that's awesome. His headshot targeting ability he has is kind of like a marksman ability. If he's in a room with a bunch of people, then basically he takes them all out by headshotting them really fast. So that's definitely really cool. And then his other ability is the grenades that he gets to toss. You start out with the new Dioxis grenade, which is basically a smoke grenade, except the smoke does damage. And then the grenades level up over time, I believe, as Greedo's confidence levels up. So there's a passive ability there with Greedo. His confidence, and basically you start with the Deoxys, like I said, and then you'll eventually move up to having the thermal imploder. So Greedo's abilities and 9 Nooms, definitely awesome new additions, and I can't wait. Alright, moving on. There are 2 new free weapons and 2 new DLC weapons. These are primary weapons, of course, for everyone to use. So the free ones, I believe the first one is the sniper rifle. You only get 1 shot, and then it does the cooldown thing, and it's progressively smaller and smaller, so it's kind of tough to use, it seems, and unless you get a headshot, you're not going to kill someone unless you're very close, like a shotgun range with that gun. So it's definitely going to be an interesting new weapon. And then the other free one is a semi-automatic blaster pistol, and that's basically all I know about it. It seems pretty awesome. The 2 new DLC weapons that will be available, obviously, to those that have the DLC, is the Relby V10 rifle, like I talked about before. Now we know that that is a semi-automatic blaster rifle, so that's very cool. It'll shoot as fast as you can pull the trigger. So that's awesome. And then the other new DLC weapon is another blaster pistol. It's the one that Greedo uses, I believe. So very awesome. The new weapons look very cool. Alright, moving on. New power-up. There is one new power-up that will be available to everyone, and that is the Disruptor Rifle. It does tons of damage to vehicles as well as takes out a bunch of enemies if you happen to hit them with it. So Disruptor Rifle is one new power-up. Moving on, we have something that I was actually kind of... Alright, I won't really give my opinion on it. I'll just keep it straight news. We have Jabba's contracts, so for unlocking all the new free and paid content from here on, no matter what the content is, they're all going to be done through Jabba's contracts, which is basically, once you reach level 12, you can go to Jabba and basically buy a contract from him, and then once you complete that those challenges he has for you, you unlock the item, whether it's a weapon or an equipment or whatever it is. So basically that's how that's all going to work. It doesn't matter how many credits you have saved up. So I basically saved all of that for nothing. But whatever, not a big deal. Moving on, there will be a new level cap, obviously, as you guys know. And with that, once you reach level 60, you may purchase a new Rebel skin, which is very cool. I forget the name of the race, but there is one new race for Rebels, and it looks very awesome. So I'm looking forward to that. New game mechanic has been added, like in the first 2 Battlefronts. There is now a combat role, so that's pretty cool. I mean, I can't see myself using it too much, but it's one of the things they added, I guess, for nostalgia purposes, pretty much. So anyways, moving on, there is a new game mode update to Heroes versus Villains. Now it is 4v4 game mode on the Outer Rim, in the Outer Rim version of it, but in the regular version, it's still the same 3v3 as far as heroes go, 3-on-3 heroes, and then basically now you can choose the hero you want to go with. So let's say you don't have the DLC, but you're in a Heroes vs. Villains playlist, you can still play with people that have the DLC. Just the people with the DLC have the option to play as Greedo and Nine Numb. So that's pretty much how that's gonna work. And yeah, it'll be 8-on-8 for the Outer Rim stuff. Moving on, Hero Hunt game mode has gotten a huge revamp. There is now 12 people in the lobby. I mean, this whole game mode is completely better now. It's actually going to be really fun, I think. But excuse me. Anyways, yeah, 12 people now instead of 8, and basically now, instead of they basically made it so you will get the hero eventually, no matter what. So they made it this whole new mode. You can go and check out for yourself. I don't really have to get into it too much, but basically just know that they revamped it, and it's gonna be awesome now. Excuse me, sorry about that. Extraction, Heroes vs. Villains, and Blast are coming to all 4 of the new maps. Other than that, I don't believe there are going to be any other game modes on the new 4 maps just yet, unfortunately. But that's alright, not a big deal. Let's talk about Extraction. We actually learned what the game mode actually is today, or at least I did for the first time. And it's actually a payload style gameplay where you basically, if you played Payload on TF2, you escort this cart and you have to be standing next to it for it to keep moving. But I think in this it just keeps moving when you activate it until the enemies deactivate it, then it stops right where it is. Sorry, my throat is really dry right now. Not cooperating with me. But so basically it's an escort the payload style gameplay, and heroes come into play at different points throughout the heroes spawn at different points in the map, and it's only that hero every time. So there's a hero strategy to this game mode that I'm very much looking forward to, and Extraction sounds very cool. I can't wait to get my hands on it. So yeah, Extraction. It'll be a new 16 person game mode, so 8 on 8. Moving on, you now have the ability to mark the objective you're going for to promote team play. So basically there's going to be a number in the upper right hand corner on each objective when you look at it, and you're able to mark which one you're going for. So that basically promotes team play. Like I said, you can see what all your teammates, which objective they're going for when that goes on. Oh yeah, one more thing I wanted to touch on is in Jabba's Palace, blah blah, the Rancor pit. The Rancor is actually dead, so we're past that timeline, and Han Solo is no longer frozen. So that's where we are as far as Jabba's Palace. The Rancor was included, but unfortunately he's dead. Not a big deal. There's not really that many ways they could include it and be balanced or anything like that. They are moving on. They are adding new quick match search options. So this is very good news for those on PC and those that have trouble finding games at certain times. This should help to allow you to get into a game by filtering search options and basically expanding search options. Now there's going to be the ability to search all 40-player game modes, so that would be Supremacy, Walker Assault, and Turning Point, and all 16-player modes, so that would be Drop Zone, Cargo, all those, and then all the hero maps, all the hero game modes. So hero hunt and heroes versus villains, basically. And finally, the last thing I have written down for a note, new big maps are coming in the future. So obviously, like I said, unfortunately right now they don't have any new Walker Assault maps or big maps like that for us. So we will just have to wait for more of that to come in the future. Not a big deal at all for me, but I was kind of looking forward to new big maps, but right now they've added 3 whole new big ones on top of the 4 we have, so we're doing pretty good in the big map department. It's not a big deal to have just these 4, you know. So, anyways, that's pretty much it, guys. That's all the notes I have written down. I may have not mentioned some things here and there, forgotten to, you know, mention things I saw from the stream, but I definitely recommend going back and watching the stream if you want to look at all the 4 new maps and how basically everything else plays. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this quick update. If you did, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe if you would like to join me on all my daily live streams right here on my YouTube channel. We will be discussing everything I went over later on the stream there. So, thank you guys very much, and it's been ya boy, Another Soviet. Peace out. And peace soup.